Hi guys, welcome to Real Football Talk. I'm Hassan. I have Adi with me. We'll be discussing Everton's first away win at Arsenal in 35 years, and also um, a league double over them since 1985 and 86 season. So I mean, great win for Everton really, and shows how they are progressing in the Premier League with Ancelotti. Adi, what was your take on the game and how we went?
Yeah, I thought pretty even, really. I mean, Arsenal had more of the possession, but lacked the cutting edge, and Everton looked more of a threat on the counter attack. And yeah, you can see why both teams are quite close in the table to each other because they were cancelling each other out, and yeah. I felt Everton always looked more of a threat than Arsenal did. Even though Arsenal played some decent stuff in their build-up play. They just didn't have any creativity to create a clear-cut chance.
I mean, the clinical edge of Arsenal has been a problem throughout the whole season, to be honest. I mean, even Odegaard coming on didn't seem to change much, it seems. And in terms of Everton, if you look at it, even though they don't create that many chances, their defense is so good, and it helps them to actually, go in these runs that they do and get that win 1-0, whether it's 1-0 or the result.
Yeah, I mean, very Italian, isn't it? Like Ancelotti, I mean,
Tactical.
1-0 wins, good defending, always balanced. And that's how they've done it all season, really. They compete. No one doesn't put a shift in. Everyone puts a shift in. Everyone tackles. Everyone follows the tactical plan. And that's partly the reason why they've punched above their weight most of the season, is because they're just a well-drilled team.
I mean, on them, if we were to, I mean, Everton, they potentially look like they got a chance to finish in a Europa League spot. Whether they do it or not is another question. In terms of, say, for instance, next season for Everton, what do they need to do, or who do they need to buy to get to that next stage in terms of actually challenging and being on those maybe Europa League spots or Champions League?
Yeah, they just need to continue to build that squad, build the players. I think they focused on certain areas last summer, and that's made a huge difference. And now they probably need to work on the wingers. They don't have out wingers really, or they do, but not good enough ones. But they're certainly in central midfield, they look stacked. In centre back, they look stacked. Maybe they could get a right back in and a backup for. Well, they've got Nkuku, I suppose, who's been injured, but yeah. So I just think they need to look at the attacking areas a bit more. Defensively, we've said all season they look solid. But yeah, quality signings. I mean, last summer they done excellent signings. Allen was an excellent signing. James Rodriguez was an excellent signing. And I just think, yeah, we mentioned it previously. It's a club where everything is going in the same direction. Everyone's on the same page. Everyone's working together. They're identifying talent that are, Champions League talent. Allen is good enough to play at any Champions League team. James Rodriguez is, and so they're improving the squad with actually quality additions, quality players. So I think they just need to continue on their path, and the gap will keep closing because they have the manager, they have the foundation in their players. So I think they just need to keep continuing on their path, and they'll continue to keep knocking on the door.
I mean, fair points on all of that. Let's switch our attention to the other team who's just behind them, Arsenal. What's been the problem with them? Because they seem to be so very inconsistent. One game they're up there, look like they're back, and next game gone back down like another 5 step, and then back again the next game. The inconsistency is just unbelievable, to be honest.
Yeah, I think right now, I think you could tell Arsenal's a team that flatters to deceive every time. I think there's many reasons for it. The constant changes in the personnel can't help. Today, they lost, a lot of the experience up top. So I think that's part of the reason why they lack the cutting edge. Lacazette's on hot form, Aubameyang still out. I mean, you still question things like why Martinez doesn't get a game when he looks amazing every time he plays. Even when he came on today, he's the only one to have a bit of bite about him, a bit of hunger. Nearly created a chance for himself through hustling. So I think the inconsistencies are partly down to the fact that is where Arsenal are. They're a team that kind of gets too excited every time they win. There's games, and that's why I say they're flat to deceive, because there's certain games where they play with the handbrake off and they just look really good. They look like the Arsenal at the peak of Wenger era. The combination, the transitions, fast pace, excellent. The runs in behind. It's really exciting to watch, and they blow teams away in spells. But what happens is you can just see they just over react. That experience or that leadership of guys who know how to win titles or win big things regularly ain't they in the squad, because you suddenly hear them all talking like they're superstars, like they're world beaters, they're going to beat everyone. And then the next game they're going to draw or struggle to a win.
Yeah.
And then they're still going to go on like they outplayed and they got the wrong decisions and the wrong result and the wrong. But I think Arsenal's problems are all down to their attitude. I mean, they think they're better than they are when they play well, and that affects them in other games. That's why they haven't got the consistency.
I mean, two things I wanted to mention within the thing that you said. The first was obviously with regards to their attitude. Is this and the mindset, is this down to maybe Arteta not being experienced enough in there, or is it because he hasn't just simply hasn't got the personnel? And the second thing is, in terms of the changes he makes, because he constantly seems to change the team around, like as if Guardiola does it, how he does it. But Guardiola's got a squad of quality players that he can still bring in and they would make an impact. Whereas Arsenal haven't got that squad in depth. So it's surprising why he makes so many changes every game. And it would break the flow of any team. You look at it, the amount of changes he makes, and in crucial areas like defense.
I just think he's given a lot of players a chance, and now, at this time of season, it's quite tough because they're clearly prioritizing the Europa Cup or the Europa League, and so they need to keep players fresh for that. But on top of that, I think you got to keep the squad happy. If you've got loads of players who aren't getting game time, it just disrupts the harmony in the squad. So maybe he's hands full, but clearly that's he's a bit of the Pep, Rafael Benitez, that mentality of and thing is, no one really goes on about it, but Ferguson rotated 3-4 players every game. I think there's a stat that it was way over 100 games where he played the same in 130 odd games since the last time he played the same 11 with Alex Ferguson. So it's not. I mean, it's a big thing with the British media. They like to make a big deal out of it.
I mean, in crucial areas, in terms of even Ferguson done it, he wouldn't make so many changes at the back like Arsenal do. You need that consistency in defense.
But I don't think Arteta's got full confidence in any of his back line. That's why he keeps rotating. He's always seen like, I would have thought Gabriel is his main one, but then when you see the crucial Europa League games, Gabriel hasn't been playing. So it's felt like he's saving Gabriel for the league, which is less important at the moment for them because they're not getting
Gabriel
into
didn't play today, so I mean.
So now he's saving him for the. So that's the thing. It's confusing to understand, but maybe it's just all tactical. It's based on the opposition.
But as a player, as a team, you need a bit of momentum. If you keep changing, chopping and changing, it doesn't build anything. It doesn't.
Yeah, I agree. I totally think a lot of it, not a lot, some of it is self-inflicted. It's not just players. It's not just, it's clearly, but, you see the inconsistency in the performance and you see inconsistency in the lineup. there's inconsistency everywhere. It's not it's not just the players or the performances. And I think there's inconsistency in the mentality, in the attitude sometimes. And you see in the performances, sometimes they blow teams away with the football they play. And then other time it is so systematic. Like today, it felt so systematic, that they never played with any real flow. They never real, even though they dominate possession, they never once looked like they're taking
There
the
was
game
there was a
off of the
snapshot
net.
from Saka really, which fell to him. That was about it in the first half, you can say.
I mean, it's not even really a proper chance, is it?
I
Let's
mean,
be
that's why I
honest.
said snapshot, isn't
Not
it?
under pressure. Even the
Yeah.
Gabriel one, they all making a big deal out of like it was a clear-cut chance. It wasn't.
I
It
mean,
was in the
what do
end
you
game.
make of the media going around? Like, because I mean, I saw it and I also read it, and the way they put it on the text and stuff, as if Jordan Pickford made a world-class save. I mean, pretty much there isn't much space that Gabriel could hit it into. It's a straightforward save. So I'm not sure what they're making such a fuss of.
Yeah, it's just the British media and the England hype machine. Is a good saver. I thought, Pickford looked good today in terms of, you can tell when he's a bit erratic in his head. He looks like he's got a mistake in it. Today he didn't seem that. He played calm today. So you can tell he's in a good space, because he's been out injured for a bit. So just coming back into the team for the last few games, he looks like he's confident again. But yeah, I mean, that's very basic standard save. I
Expect
don't
that from a
know.
keeper of that class, of a Premier League keeper.
Yeah, but I think maybe it just highlights the mistake that Leno made today. I
Yeah.
don't know. Maybe it's because of that. But
Howler.
they do it with Pickford a lot. I mean, there's certain England players that no matter what they do, they get hyped. No
England
matter what. Sterling's one of them. He could do
England
nothing the whole game. He'll go on one run, and all you'll hear the commentators do is go on about how amazing he is. Same with Pickford's one of those. There's a few players that no matter what, it's just ingrained in the commentators and the pundits' head that these are the special players in their head. So,
one thing I wanted to mention in terms of Arsenal, this was I think they lost 7 games at home, the first time since 1992-1993 season. So the point we made about the inconsistency of Arsenal, it's clearly proven why it is like that, because of, I mean, the amount of changes, and if you look at the amount of losses we've had now, everything just seems to be adding up. Now, does this blame lie with Arteta because he's the manager, he's picking this and he's constantly changing, or is it the players, as in they're not simply good enough?
No, I mean, you can't blame either one. I mean, it's both. I mean, the problems at Arsenal are both. There's going to be some blame on Arteta, especially on some of his the way he handles some of the players. They're not ready for his mentality a lot of the time, the way he calls them out. But also the other thing is on the players, isn't it? I mean, it seems like they still haven't got the right characters in the dressing room, the right leadership team in the dressing room. So yeah, I think you can't say it's one or the other. It's going to be a mixture of both. And yeah, I mean, let me ask you a question. Yeah, you look at the Arsenal lineup today. Who would you have, Leno or Pickford? Who's a better goalkeeper?
I'd still have Leno, because Pickford just, like we mentioned, he's erratic, and he's just for me personally, Leno, even though he made that mistake.
For me, it's not clear. It's not. I think Leno.
But if you were to say,
personally, I think
Leno
Leno's
or
made a lot of
Martinez,
mistakes.
I would say
He's very
Martinez.
average, but I think Pickford can do saves. Leno can't. Personally, I do think that. But yeah, I would say similar. I'd probably take Pickford over Leno, but not. I wouldn't say he's better.
But I mean, having said that, last year Leno did keep us in a lot of games with some brilliant saves. Even this year at the beginning of the year, maybe that form isn't there at the moment. Potentially
Maybe.
because that pressure from a second keeper is not there. Maybe that could be a reason why. Because last year he had Martinez down his back, so he had to perform because he knows if he doesn't perform, he's getting dropped. Maybe that's where we went wrong.
I still think he's an average keeper. I don't think he's a top 4 keeper really, or title winning keeper. But he's not terrible. Today was a mistake all keepers make, isn't it? Keepers always make mistakes. All right, Chambers or Coleman?
Coleman. I don't like Chambers.
All right.
Sorry.
So Holding or Godfrey?
Why are you doing this to me? Are we gonna go through the whole team?
Yeah. Chambers or Godfrey? I want to highlight that really, let's be honest, which team starting 11 today actually has the better starting 11?
I mean, we did have a lot of players missing, so...
No. But we're talking about the match today, innit? Holding or Godfrey?
On this season, Godfrey, yeah.
On any season, Godfrey, man. Godfrey's a much better talent. All right. Let's go to that partner. Who is it? It was...
Mario Mina.
Yeah.
I hate Mario, so it's automatically going to be the other person anyways.
All right. Okay. Xhaka or Digne?
What? It's not even a question. But I get your point, but still, it's...
Partey or Allen? That's a tough one.
I haven't seen enough of Partey, to be honest, and neither of Allen.
Currently, you'd say Allen, though, wouldn't you?
He's been injured, and so has Thingy.
Even when he's played today, he looked amazing again.
He did.
He's really good again.
Based on today's performance, yeah, you can say that.
And the performance of this season, Allen's performed every
game.
He's
good,
played,
but he has been injured for quite a bit of the season. That's why.
Yeah, but when he has played, he's stood out.
He did. He
stood out every time.
He made the difference at the beginning of the season. I remember everyone talking about him and what impact he made in terms of him, Doucouré, and Gomez. They were playing. I mean, he was winning every single one of those second balls that was dropping in.
And Gomez or Ceballos?
I think we don't need to do this. You already know my opinion. Why are we gonna do this?
Because I still think. All right, let's go. Let's skip a couple. Saka or James Rodriguez?
I would have Saka any day
over James Rodriguez.
Yeah. Hell yeah! This season, you telling me Saka hasn't been good?
He might be good, but
it's been the
James Rodriguez is a quality above.
No,
in my opinion, James Rodriguez is a quality above Saka. Saka still.
I don't think he made the impact as much of a difference as think he has. Saka has for Arsenal. He's pretty much kept us in 10th place.
In what? 10th place. Okay, so that says it all.
No, but he has. No one else has been. Who else would you say from Arsenal has been performing really? Lacazette in the last few games, but Kieran Tierney. That's it.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not knocking Saka's ability, but if you compare Saka to James Rodriguez, I think there's still a very clear difference in levels between the two. One is genuinely been there, done it, and has still got it. And the other one is very promising, great talent. Hopefully can be there or better than James in the future. He's got the potential to be better. Richarlison and Ketia.
This is going too long. We need to hear you're just taking the mic now.
No, but you get the point, innit? If you look at the levels,
I didn't deny your point. I didn't deny your point. But what I was trying to say is the whole team is inconsistent. So it's because it's down to Arteta.
Yeah, but a lot of those players are playing regularly. I mean, I don't think even if you look at the goal they conceded, are you gonna blame Xhaka? Are you gonna blame Xhaka? He's not left back.
Xhaka gets beat too, but you still don't.
Suarez on the bench.
You still don't dive in like that. Fair enough. That's a fair point of view. But if you saw what even on our Sunday league, what do we tell them?
No, but at the end of the day, it's not just about you don't dive in or you don't. The player is tempting you. He's showing enough of the ball to make you actually think you can win that ball. He's a defensive mid. If he thinks he can win it, he's going for it. It's not totally just a case of there was no skill from Richarlison. Richarlison left it hanging there, and then his footwork was too quick. He tempted Xhaka. It's not just Xhaka just done poor defending. He was tricked into poor defending.
Dived in.
Yeah, but he was tricked into it. That's how do you think a good winger beats a player all the time? It's through trickery. It's through showing the ball and then
it's great play from Richarlison. I'm not denying that. I'm saying it was poor from Xhaka in terms of him diving in.
But at the end of the day, he's not a left back. How many times does he have someone running at him at centre mid?
Like that's Arsenal's problem, isn't it? In terms of
so that's what I'm trying to say, isn't it? I mean, like even today's result, could you put it down to Arteta in terms of the conceding? Because you've got your backup left back on the bench, and you've gone with a defensive mid in out of position. So I think it's a mixture with Arsenal. The whole season, it's been a mixture of Arteta's mistakes and the squad lack of quality or mentality.
I mean, mentality has been an issue for the last God knows how many years, to be honest.
And one thing, do you think the protests had an effect on the performance?
I don't think so.
And this is the thing. A lot of people are making that like, oh, it must be really tough to play because of protests.
Not really. We want the ball out. That's got nothing to do with in terms of how they're performing on the pitch. And it wasn't even that massive as they are making out to be. So
yeah, I mean, what about
Bill Conke out though?
Yeah, but I mean, this is the thing. I mean, Arsenal fans are blaming so much on owners, and we all know there's a lot of bad owners. But the thing is, there's quite a lot of clubs that are unhappy with their owners. There's not a new phenomenon here. I mean, United fans have been upset with the Glazers from day one. There's always been skeptics about
FSG. Still get money to spend though. We don't get that much.
Liverpool fans, last few seasons you spent slightly more, and Man United make a lot more money. There's a difference between the revenues of both clubs. They've had their stadium built. They've not got those costs of repayments and everything. But there's a lot of, especially in England, the bigger teams are upset with their fans. I don't get this argument that Arsenal's problems are because of their owners. Yeah, they got bad owners. So has other clubs.
But they still need to remove him. I don't care.
Yeah, but it's not a reason for the
performances. I'm not saying that's I never correlated the two. What I'm saying is in terms of if you want the club to go, you need to change the ownership because he's clearly not doing enough for us to get what we need or the funds we need to take the club to the next level or to bring in the right quality of players.
Do you think the whole joining the Super League thing might have affected the players? Because when you have a manager, disciplinarian, manager with the winning mentality, who we've seen the way he's treated Aubameyang for coming late and other players. He holds the squad to high standards. Do you think that affects the players when suddenly you have owners who don't have or match those similar high standards, and the psychology of the players start to hold on a minute? We're expected to uphold these type of standards, and then we got owners who are
just think like they can do anything.
Decisions. Yeah. Do you think players will look at you and think, hold on, there's a disconnect between the culture and the standards we're expected and the standards being set by the leadership?
But I mean, even if you look at it from yourself, like you would feel aggrieved by it. You would think what is going on. That's, I mean, two different rules for applying. But I guess they're the owners; they can do what they like. But that's not how it should work. So it could have been a factor, but I don't think it would be that much of a factor. You're still a professional. You still go out there, do your jobs.
I know. I mean, what did you make of Arteta's comments on the Super League?
I mean, he's a yes man, isn't he? It's his first job. He's gonna obviously trying to back everything. So
you think he's been a yes man because it's his first job? I actually think he's been a yes man because he's under pressure and he's trying to keep the owners sweet. Because everyone knows everything's on this
I mean,
Europa
I
Cup.
said he's a yes man since even the beginning in terms of the way he was going on about things, even dealing with the Ozil situation.
But I think, but do you think that's because maybe he still hasn't quite proved himself enough to have that credit where he can not be a yes man. He knows he's not in a strong enough position, and obviously the league form shows that he's not in a strong enough position to kind of call out the owners or not be a yes man. So I think he's played the game knowing that he's not in a strong position at the moment.
I mean,
he looked utterly fed up. I mean, my point is he looked fed up in those, and even though he was kind of backing the owners, he just looked fed up with the whole situation.
Yeah, I mean, I mean, we were all fed up with the European Super League situation. I mean, we done podcasts on it and showed our frustration how it affected everyone in terms of.
But others have admitted that other men, Klopp, Solskjaer, they've admitted that they weren't happy with the idea. Arteta and kind of Pep even admitted it, but he's also criticized UEFA a lot. But Arteta of all the managers has kind of backed the owners a lot more than anyone.
The thing is, there was a meeting with the fans forum with Josh Kroenke.
And Vinay.
You can clearly see what these owners think. I mean, how patronizing is this? I mean, in terms of Josh Kroenke coming out and saying, "Oh, I see the English fans didn't like their winter nights at Stoke." Like, you're here to apologize and say sorry for the mistakes you made, and you're trying to patronize the people.
Yeah,
I mean, that in itself shows what they are and who they are, and they don't care about the club.
No, but if you think about their answer, though, the original answer to why they went for and agreed to the Super League, it is a pretty simple answer for someone like Arsenal. They're not going to make the Champions League this year.
Yeah.
Would they rather be part of a Super League or not? I think if you put it like that,
they don't want to be left behind.
When I saw it like that, when I put myself on the owners' side and I saw it like, well, I'm not going to make Champions League. If I have the option of scamming it and getting into a Super League and making more money, I don't really have a choice. So when they explained it like that, I thought, yeah, actually that makes a bit of sense.
It is valid, and that's what. But it still breaks the whole principle.
Still wrong the way they went about it.
Exactly, and it's still wrong the way they came out and answered the question from Josh and stuff. I mean, Vinay. I mean, I guess it's his job. He has to obviously follow whatever the direction they're giving. But in terms of the way Josh Kroenke came out and spoke, I mean.
It's patronizing, definitely patronizing.
Yeah, I mean, these guys don't care. Stan Kroenke couldn't even be bothered to come onto the thing. So,
but I think that's strategic, and I think if he did, it would have been
the whole thing
even more condescending.
Just the idiot. I don't want to. Of course, it's Ramadan. I'm trying to be patient and calm, Adil. You're trying to think the worst side out.
That's fine, but we must ask the questions. Yeah. That our viewers were answered. No, so in general, only other thing is, do you think if Arteta doesn't win the UEFA Cup, he's going to get sacked?
I personally don't want him to be sacked. I'll tell you why. Because you can see there is an idea or something that he's trying to build towards. Maybe he hasn't got the right personnel or the players for it. But you need to give the manager a chance. I mean, he's had a year and a half, but I like to give him a couple of transfers. Even with Unai Emery, I said that you need to give him a couple of transfer windows to bring his own players and people that would suit to his style. So I would still give him till next year, and then.
But do you think the current owners?
I think they will keep him based on the success from last year. I think based on the success.
Even if he doesn't win the Europa League, you think they're going to stick with him?
I think so.
I think I agree with you. I think they should stick with Arteta. He's got the potential to be a good manager. I think he needs another summer to get the type of players he wants.
Yeah.
And I think pre-season, certain managers like Klopp, Pep, even Arteta, I think
Pre-season is important to them.
They need pre-season because it's all about the system, and you know it's hard to work on the system without pre-season. So I do think Arteta will be better next year but in saying that, I actually don't believe the hierarchy will stick with him if he doesn't win the Europa Cup, because the league, at the end of the league form, the home form is terrible for Arsenal standards.
It is.
And I think, you know, Arsenal board will be thinking more along those lines, looking at what Tottenham have done. You know, they've made a cup final, they're higher up on the league, and they've got rid of a more reputable manager. You know, so I think that might add to the pressure of...
Well, I mean, would that opinion change? I mean, if Arsenal make the European League final?
No, it's not about making the final, it's about winning it. I mean, nothing else can save Arsenal's season other than winning it. I really don't believe anything would.
Definitely agree.
So I think
next year we won't even be,
or they don't make it.
Next year we won't even be in the Europa League. I mean, that tells you all. I mean, in terms of how badly this season has gone.
So I think if they don't win it, I think
I'm trying to be a bit optimistic and, you know,
yeah,
a bit positive.
Yeah, no, I mean, but yeah, it's more trying to second guess the board.
Yeah, no. I mean, so far they've been quite.
So for you, Arteta isn't actually, his job isn't at risk at all, no matter what happens this season.
No. I mean, as in my personal view, he should get another season. Whether the board will sack him or not, that's a different question. It maybe, like you said, if they don't even get to the final, maybe they sack him straight after that. I wouldn't put it past them, and look for a new manager to build for next year, given the preseason.
Yeah,
it could come out. I mean, potentially with what's happening, because it'll have serious financial implication with the team. Not in Europa League, so you're not going to get any money off that. Not in Champions League, no money for that. So at finishing 10th, that's going to reduce the prize money they get from the Premier League as well. So, I mean, who do you get next year? Why would anyone want to come to Arsenal?
Yeah, but Eddie Howe's available.
Adu, you're just trying to be a mischief, okay? Every dog has his day. Remember this. Guys, thank you for watching. Adil been very naughty today. I don't know why. But yeah, do like, share, subscribe, and yeah, please share out to families, friends, people you know, Arsenal fans, I don't know, Everton fans, everyone. And yeah, please support us. Let us know what you think of the videos, and yeah, leave any comments. We would love to hear from you and see how we can maybe improve this even further. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Adil.